Hello, welcome to Object Oriented Programming using C++ lecture. So today is the first lecture I am going to deliver in this subject. That subject name is Object Oriented Programming using C++, and that code is BC209. Okay, so lecture's outcome is today we are going to learn the introduction about the Object Oriented Programming, feature of Object Oriented Programming, and finally we will see the application area of Object Oriented Programming. Okay? And that object oriented programming is also known as OOPS, right? So object oriented programming is the term basically used to describe the programming language. Okay, and that programming is what we're talking about. The object oriented programming is based on the object and class. So what is object, what is class, we will uh, tell you about all this thing in a detail in coming lectures. But for the time being, we'll see that is the programming language that is based on the class and object. It allows us to organize the software as a collection of objects, and that consists of both data as well as functions. Okay. It supports software modularity where the application can decompose into a smaller module, and each individual module can design and developed. Okay. It also allows a software reusability. It also allows a software reusability where an application can be composed with existing model, or we can create with existing model. It reduces the translation burden from real world representation to the computer world representation. Actually, what we are going to do in that, simply we are going to map the concept or map the object, the real world object, to the programming language. Okay, it is more flexible programming language as compared to the other. Okay, as we know that our conventional programming language like functional programming or procedural programming that only focus on the methods. Method is nothing but the algorithm we are talking about, rather than the data. It only focus on the method rather than the data. But in object oriented programming, we consider both data as well as function. Okay. Since 1980s, the word object become a more popular in terms of the programming language. With almost all the programming language developed during that year, they're having the object oriented features. It is a widely accepted that the object oriented programming is the most important and powerful, we can say, the way of creating software. Okay, so now we will see the feature of object oriented programming, see what are the different features, or we can say what are the different characteristics it is associated with this language. The first characteristics is encapsulations. Second one is the data abstraction. We will see in the detail in the next slides. Third one is the inheritance, polymorphism, extensibility, genericity, and delegation. We will see one by one what the meaning of this encapsulation, data abstractions, inheritance, polymorphism, extensibility, and all. We will see one by one. Okay. So encapsulation is nothing but this is a mechanism, we can say, that associate or that combine the data and similar data and similar code into a single unit, and that keep them safe from the misuse or unauthorized access. So let's say for the example, let's suppose we can achieve this with the help of class. And in a class, what we are going to do, we are going to combine the similar data. Let's suppose we are going to create the class of employee. So employee class will contain the all similar attributes of the employee, like employee name, employee ID, employee salary, designation, and all. And we also combine, apart from the data, we also combine the functionality. So what are the different operations that can perform by the employee? Okay, and we combine together. Okay, and the second point is we keep them safe from the misuse. So how we will save this code or unauthorized access? How we will save this from the unauthorized access. We can put some access specifier like private, protected and all. With the help of this access specifier, private, protected, public and all, with the help of these keywords, we can save our code. We can save our code from misuse or unauthorized access. Third point is, this is associated with these encapsulations. So a class is nothing but the blueprint of the object, we can say. We will see in a detail in the next slide or in a coming lectures. Or we can say a class is a user defined data type. Okay. And the third point is, instance of the class is always known as the object. So what do you mean by the object? Let's suppose we have created the class, we have already defined the class, but if we want to use the functionality of the class, we have to create or we have to instantiate the object of the class. First we have to instantiate the class, or we can say this is we have to create the object of the class, then only we can access the functionality of the class what we have defined earlier. Okay, we will see in the next coming lecture how we will create the class and how we will define the object and all. Okay, the second characteristic is data abstraction. So data abstraction is what? This is technique of creating a new data types, or you are defining a new data types and simply we are going to hide the unnecessary detail to the user. Okay, and it provide a ability to create a user defined data types for mapping a real world object in the program. So simply we are going to map the real world object, so real world entity to the program in C++ program. It has some properties and set of operations. So every class having some properties or a property that is also known as the attributes and set of operation and functions. In C++, classes provide a great level of data abstraction. Okay, how we will see. Third is inheritance. So inheritance is all about the code reusability. That code reusability. It allows the extension and reuse of existing code. It also allows the we can create our new class, and that class is known as the child class, and that child class can acquire the properties, data member and member functions functionality from the parent class. Okay, and apart from this they can also add the functionality its own. Next properties is, or next characteristic is the polymorphism. So polymorphism, okay, it allow a single name, it allow a single name that is associated with a different operation, or we can say it depend upon the type of data or the number of data. Okay, or we, that differentiate that actually polymorphism, that method is differentiate into two parameters. First is type of argument and number of argument we are going to pass in that. Okay, that not depend upon the written type of the function or method. In C++, it is achieved by function overloading. We will see what is the function overloading, right? What is the operator overloading, what is the virtual function and all. We will see in a next lecture. Extensibility is what? It's allow the extension of the functionality of the existing software component. Okay, or we can say it can be accomplished by, or that feature is that can be accomplished by the abstract class and the inheritance. What is the abstract class? We'll see in detail. If any class having the one pure virtual, at least one pure virtual function, that class is known as abstract class. Otherwise that class is known as the concrete class. Okay, we will see in the next class and next lecture actually. What is the mean of genericity? Genericity is nothing but it allow the declaration of data. It allow the declaration of data item without specifying the exact data type. Okay, this is common data type we have declared, and with the help of this data type out, we can pass any argument and we can perform our work or task whatever we want. It can be achieved by the template. So template that can be used either by the function template or the class template. We will discuss all these things. This is a technical word or this is a technical term we will see in the coming lectures or next class or the coming classes. Okay. Okay, so what do you mean by the delegation? A delegation is nothing but this is the alternative of the inheritance. So an inheritance is what? Inheritance is the nothing but the code visibility. So the same thing we are doing in the delegation also, but difference is what? The way of implementation is different. Way of implementation is different. In inheritance, first of all, we have already created some class, we have already tested, executed that class, and now we are going to create the new class, and that new class is going to inherit the properties of pre-existed or pre-defined classes. Okay, the same thing we are going to apply in the delegation also, but it is the way of making the object compositions as a powerful as a inheritance. Okay, and it is a collection of a many object, and that relationship is known as a relation, and inheritance is known as what? Is a relation. Okay, now we will see what is the application of a object oriented programming. What do you mean by the application? So where we can use this programming language, where we will use this concept? There are different application of this programming language C++. First we can say the GUI based application we can design with the help of this C++ language, or we can design the operating system or system software with the help of this programming language, and how we will see, okay, in the next coming slides. Database software, database management software we also designed with the help of C++, MySQL and all. There are so many DBMS are designed with this language only. And web browsers, we can design the web browser, we can use the render purpose for this web C++ language. We can also design the advanced computing and graphics. Maya and all is already defined or already designed with this C++ language only. Embedded system, we can design some embedded system with the help of C++ language. Compiler design or kernel design. Compiler, there are so many compilers are designed in C++ language. We can also develop the game application with the help of C++ language. Okay, first GUI based application. So C++ can be used to based on the desktop that can design the GUI application and the desktop application both. And most of the application of the Adobe, we have heard this name. This is Adobe system, right? Adobe are developed using the C++ language. Win App Media Player. This is from the Microsoft. This is a very famous product of the Microsoft. This is also developed in the C++ language. So, with the help of C++, we can design the desktop applications, or we can design the rich graphical user interface. So, that can also used in operating systems for designing or for the operating system. So C++ has a wide collection of a have a vast collection of a low level functional that help in writing the low level programs. Okay, so that application like Windows 95, ME 98, XP and all, that all are designed and developed with the help of C++ language only. Visual Studio IDE, where we are going to define the code of C# and all, that is defined in the or that develop in with the help of C++ language. Internet Explorer, Microsoft Office and all, that is written in C++ language. Database designs. So many of the databases, DBMS or RDBMS, is designed in C++. MySQL, one of the most popular database software that is written in C++ language. Postgres DBMS are also written in C++ language. Okay, so now we are talking about the browser. So what is the use of this browser? Browser are used to get the pages, or we are going to get the information from the server, and that will display to the client. Whatever the information is going to collect from the server is going to display on the client machine. So many of the web browsers, Mozilla, Internet Explorer and all, that all are developed in the C++ language, and that is basically the web browsers are basically the rendering purpose. The C++ code is used in a rendering purpose for the web browsers. File system and Chrome browsers and all, that all are written in C++ language. Advanced computational and graphics. So whenever you are using the advanced computational and graphics, we can use the C++ language. As we know that C++ is useful in developing a application that required high performance image processing, where we required the high performance image processing. That at that time we can use this C++ language. Maya 3D software developed in C++ and is used for the animation, and that Maya is used as animations, virtual reality and 3D graphics. Okay, so another application where we can use this C++ is a embedded system. So embedded system is what? C++ language actually this is close to this hardware. With the help of this C++ language, we can interact with the hardware. Okay, system hardware. I'm talking about the computer hardware, right? And we can manipulate, we can do, and we can perform such kind of things with the help of this program. That can use a lot of low-level function call. We have different type of low-level function call. With the help of this function, we can perform the hardware work, right? Hardware kind of work. Various embedded systems like smart watches, medical equipment, systems, these all are using the C++ language for designing and developing this program. So you must know about the compiler. So compiler is what? Compiler is a system software that translates the high level language into the machine acceptable form. That convert the high level language into the machine acceptable form. Okay. So that is also a program, that is a system software, and software is what? That is a program. So when we are talking about the compiler design, the first preference is given to the C and C++ language. And many of the compiler, many of the system software has been defined or developed with the help of C and C++. Many of the kernel, we can say Linux kernel, Unix kernel and all, we already define in the C++ language. Okay. So in both the language that are best suited for the hardware and manipulation and underlying the hardware resources. Compiler of various high level language, as we discussed, a compiler of the various hardware programming language are written either in C or C++. Or this is another feature, we can say the application of the C++ is for using the game applications. C++ can be easily and fast mechanism, or we can say this fast programming language that can use the resources of the machine, is very efficiently use the resources of the machine or computer. It also able to override the complexity. It also able to override the complexity of 3D games and provides a multi-layer networking. Okay, where we are using this multi-layer networking concept in game and all, and this above benefit of C++ make it a primary choice, or this is a first choice to develop the game applications. Okay. Apart from this, we have so many more applications where we can use this C++ language, like simulation and all, real time simulations. So we can use any simulations work with the help of C++ language. Let's suppose we have developed some code or we have developed some algorithm, and now we have to check whether what we have developed, whether it is working fine or not, working correct or not. So at that time we can use this some C and C++ platform, a language where we can verify our code, verify our logic, whether it is working fine or not, that are going to fulfill our requirement or not. So in that purpose also we can use the C++ program. Okay. In our next lectures, we will discuss about the how to define the classes, how to define the object, how to call these methods that already defined in the class, how to declare the static member, what is the difference between C and C++ coding style. We will all these things we will see in the next class, in our next lecture. Okay, where we can define each and everything in implementation level. Okay. So okay, now we are going to bind up this session now. Okay, thank you so much.